I'm Ashley Carey, and the world is not ending. Welcome to the first ever episode of BTI Politics. Today, right now, we're going to talk about Edward Snowden. Also, what has Snowden leaked so far? What will he leak? And what does it mean for you and me? The mobile metadata of U.S. citizens is being collected by the government. Why is that a big deal? It's really not. They know who calls who, when, what time, and they're technically, right now, not allowed to use that for anything that isn't related to terrorism. We also learned that there is a PowerPoint presentation called PRISM, $20 million a year, spent on accessing the online communications of anyone who might be communicating with somebody outside the United States. I've certainly never communicated on the internet with someone outside of the United States, have you? That's absurd. I don't play video games or post on forums. This document cites companies like YouTube, Skype, Google, Apple, and most importantly, Microsoft. Then we have something that not a lot of people know about called boundless informant. How the NSA keeps track of its surveillance of Americans, something they've claimed in front of the Senate several times that they don't do. They do. Documents stating that the NSA can keep and use any info that they accidentally obtain about Americans because they're not allowed to go out and find it. They're allowed to keep it and use it however they want for 5 years. That was ruled in a document signed in 2009 by our very own Attorney General Eric Holder, who pretends he doesn't know what we're talking about. All this stuff we know so far, these 14 points, are but 1% of the entire leak that Snowden has planned. Obviously, America's freaking out. The NSA is freaking out. You've got to have secrets if everything is transparent. There's a lot of vulnerability present. That's something that people like to gloss over in this case because it is absolutely vital that Edward Snowden and his leaks are brought forth in a positive light. We need to know when our Fourth Amendment rights are being trampled on. There are plenty of people on the other side of the aisle that would say our Second Amendment rights are trampled on. Whatever other amendments might be taken away by the federal government. There are always going to be regulations on every single one of those amendments. What's important is that we don't lose the ability to decipher what the difference is between taking away your right that's enshrined in the amendments in the Constitution and regulating them so that people can't completely untethered go off and do whatever they want at the expense of other people. I also wanted to talk about what causes mass shootings, why we have so many mass shootings, and what that has to do with gun control. Is that the answer? I don't think it is. I think it's about 20% of the answer. So sort of. That's not a no. The other 80%, and I do think it's as clear-cut, is mental health care. And we're about to talk about mental health care in this country a lot more than we used to because it's obviously the thing we need to change if we want to help veterans with PTSD. There are plenty of people in the United States who have never left the United States who suffer from PTSD from various things. The United States offers a lot of freedoms, but with that comes a lot of opportunities for tragedies. And we're never going to be perfect with our regulations. We need a place for people that feel like they have no place to go and talk about their feelings, a place where people will listen to them and not just give them pills and tell them to go home. It's unfortunate that it took so long for us to have this mental health care debate, but what's even more unfortunate is that this is going to be usurped by the pharmaceutical companies that want to sell us pills. Consider the fact that what people are actually going to be talking about are pills versus therapy. So, gun control, let's talk about that a little less and let's talk about mental health care more. Obamacare, what more can I say about Obamacare? Go look at my videos. Quid pro quo on a federal level is something I'm going to talk about on this show until I throw up. There's nothing wrong with that. Quid pro quo is bribery. It's illegal. It's very hard to prove. It's something we should never ever accept from our political officials. We need to make sure that our political leaders who participate in quid pro quo agreements are treated the same way we treat somebody who stole a car, because it's a little worse than stealing a car. Put the bad actors in jail. Corporations aren't people, oh my god. We have so much to talk about. It's going to be a great show. Stay tuned. When you know that there's a tiger in a cage, you need to put a lock on the cage, and if you don't, you're the idiot. I have a therapist and he's great. We should all have therapists. I really think we should all have therapists. We all have problems, don't we?
I mean, you had a really good rant going there for a bit, and then it trickled off in a bad way. That's probably tough to edit.
Because my notes ran out.